Welcome back here. I'm just doing a little update, and unfortunately I don't have my tripod, so this is probably wiggly as AF. Anyhow, those are boost modules, and for some reason my focus just went out the window. So I'm just going to pause this and try and get the pod. Okay, it's a tiny bit better on the tripod. Still moving. Let's have a look here. So those are the boost modules. They're like, what, $2 each on eBay or something like that. And right now I'm just feeding them from a 12 volt battery. So that's like 12.5 volts or 12.3 volts. And I'm just feeding the far one in, and I adjusted the trim pot to 30 volts, which for this, you see down there, 30.31. Pretty good. I'm going to leave it at that because messing with those little trim pots is finicky. You might think you've turned it just enough to line it up, but 30.31 is good enough. And that'll let me have a range of 30 to 0 on the buck converter that's built into this. That'll give me my constant voltage and constant current. The other thing I like to do when I get things from eBay is I will print off a mini version of their specs and cover it with tape and then some double-sided sticky tape and try and stick it somewhere on the product. And that goes with when I adjust something, I try and print off a little sticker to what it's been adjusted to. And I've still got some, oh, there's my messy desk. That's my messy desk right there. I'll print off little pieces of paper, cover them with tape to kind of cheapo laminate them, and then I just put some sticky tape on the back. And that right there is, that paragraph right there goes for the buck DC to DC converter that's inside that, and that blurb is for those. Now they're mounted using some brass standoffs and some M3 screws, and this metal sort of waffle plate is actually some of the scrap metal that was left from the PC that I chopped, and some of these hole patterns on different PCs is almost exactly the same spacing that you'll find that a lot of the generic spacing on Vero boards and you know, mini project boards, so it can be pretty handy. But in the case of these guys, I wanted something that would be grounded and gives me a really easy bolt pattern for mounting that inside the tower when it's done. I've put the terminals on this. They're kind of stuck together here because the wire's a bit stiff. Those are of course it's going to stick. Those are just the terminals. They're thread post terminals with a banana style jack in the front. Already hooked up and ready to go for this one. This one here is being set up to, the one closest to us is going to drive this one because it's good up to 30 volts as well. And then I'm going to mount this somewhere inside that case. And it'll be inside out of the way, so nothing's going to fall on it. And then these will be, the controls will be on a piece of vinyl. Now that's just DVD cases. I got tons of old blank DVD cases, and they're about 0.8 millimeters thick, and they're pretty good vinyl, so you can back them with a bit of plastic to do more structural things on them, like holding those trim pots there. But you know, they're really good for just quickly prototyping a display or a panel and not having to cut metal or anything right off the bat. In fact, in some cases you can just leave them like that, and if you're worried about noise, you can line them with foil. The other thing I did is, again, I've covered that with tape and put some double-sided sticky tape on the back. That would be the stickers that are going to go under those when I get that finally mounted, and I'll probably get that all done up pretty soon. But here I'm just getting it dialed in. Now it's funny because that reads it as, let's see if it's going to focus down there. Yeah, focus. 30.3 volts, but this meter on my Greenlee says it's 30.24 volts, so that's not too bad. That's pretty good, actually. I'm not going to worry about that kind of difference. Now over here, I have to connect this set of wires here so that they'll be able to hook to the 12 volt source from the ATX power supply. I don't know why that dropped it autofocus, but yeah. So those wires will be set up for that. I'll probably join them together. but I'm probably going to get 3 amp fast acting. These things are run normally at about 3 amps. I have a feeling though that at 3 amps they're more likely to be, they say 5 amps max, but I have a feeling they're only 3, or at least they'll need extra cooling. Now the control chip uses the bottom plane of this board as part of its heatsink, so worst case scenario I might actually mount a heatsink to the bottom of these two boards and then figure that out, or put a small fan. I've got lots of small fans. I'm just going to grab one here. This is a little tiny one. It's only about 1 inch across. And I could just put one of those right in the middle. Put them like right in the middle between the two like that. And it would probably be plenty enough airflow, but I don't expect I'm going to be drawing much from them. Not in the way of amperage. Most of the stuff I'm going to run is probably going to be like an ESP module or something like that. Anyhow, a little bit of an update. Next, I'll probably have that buttoned up a little better, and that mounted in the same panel. Anyhow, if you like this kind of crazy stuff, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned, because you never know what crazy stuff I'll be at next. And as always, thanks for watching.